There's been a lot of chatter about this all over the internet. What am I talking about? I'm talking about, well, an incident that happened aboard a vessel on Disney's cruise line.
Oh, no.
There you go. Breaking child rescued after falling overboard from Disney Cruise Line ship. That's by Katie Francis, June 30th, 2025. The child and her father were rescued from the water by the cruise line team after an incident on June 29th, 2025, with the child fell overboard on the Disney cruise. According to USA Today, a child fell from the 4th floor of the Disney Dream. I believe that's deck 4, but here you go. The child's father jumped in after her. Eyewitnesses report that the rescue team aboard the Disney Dream responded promptly with life preservers and a rescue boat. They were successfully able to retrieve both passengers from the water. From USA Today, the crew aboard the Disney Dream swiftly rescued 2 guests from the water. We commend our crew members for their exceptional skills and prompt actions, which ensured the safe return of both guests to the ship within minutes. We are committed to the safety and well-being of our guests, and this incident highlights the effectiveness of our safety protocols. That statement from Disney there. The Disney Dream was sailing between its home port in Fort Lauderdale and the Bahamas when the child fell overboard. The ship is equipped with barriers and overboard alarm systems as part of those safety precautions. I want to go ahead and go into this with a little bit more detail because as the story is developed, we know a little bit more about it right here. Oh, thanks, people. Very much appreciate that. Disney cruise passenger heard sound, quote, like hitting the pavement. A little girl fell overboard, followed by dad. That is startling right there. Colin Rugg says this: Father jumps overboard to save his 5-year-old daughter who fell off a Disney cruise ship from the 4th deck into the ocean. The ship was heading back to South Florida when the intense rescue was made. Quote, the ship was moving quickly, so quickly, it's crazy how quickly the people became tiny dots in the sea. And then you lost sight of them, said a passenger. The father reportedly jumped into the ocean the moment he realized his daughter had gone over. Quote, the captain slowed the ship and turned it around. And then they deployed a tender ship with people on it to go get them. Quote, I saw the mother crying. But when they rescued them, I think that's when the tears really started flowing because you were just so overjoyed knowing, and I prayed to God to save them, and he did, said another person on the ship. That is a harrowing experience. You can see the video right here provided by Colin. I believe this was somebody else's that has been going around the internet a lot. We're going to have some B-roll of what Deck 4 actually might look like on the Disney Dream and the Disney Magic. Very similar ships. But guys, I mean, this is an unbelievable rescue because I think I heard a statistic that 1 person a month goes overboard on a cruise liner, not just Disney, but other cruise liners, and they're never seen again. So this is pretty remarkable that a rescue like this took place and was successful.
1 person a month? That's I didn't even think that happened.
That is the statistic that I've heard. Now, if that is accurate, well, you're far less likely to end up injured on a roller coaster with that kind of, with that kind of regularity, at least on a cruise ship. But goodness gracious, to have something like this actually occur and to be able to have a safe and secure rescue like this, it is absolutely remarkable, guys. I can't tell you just how crazy this all actually is. Your thoughts and reactions to all of this?
What is the height at which the water just essentially becomes pavement down there? There's a certain
higher
height.
Than 4.
I guess obviously,
yeah.
A 4-year-old falling over, they're not gonna fall in any way that they're gonna be able to, dive or minimize the impact or something like that. And thank goodness that the 4-year-old was able to stay up enough while the father, which by the way, I can't even imagine looking at a 4-deck dive down into the ocean below in order to get this child. But if you're faced between saying goodbye to your child forever or making that dive, you gotta go. I mean, kudos to the dad for making the jump.
Yeah.
Here, no one should jump off a cruise ship ever. But wow. Amazing.
If there's ever a time to do it, it's when your child has fallen off.
Exactly. And I look at that guy right there. Look at that guy. He was not ready for a dive that day.
No, not at all. He might have lost his flip-flops there. It is, look, I think the only reason why the child may have survived at all is because of the heroic actions from the father right there. Because, as the passengers were saying, you do end up as dots when this vessel is going as fast as it is. I was actually very surprised when I was on the Wish and we were making our voyage to and from the Bahamas, just how quick this a vessel like this is, just how fast you actually are traveling in order to make that 3-day voyage. I believe this was a 4-day voyage, so you have an accelerating timetable there, and the ship is looking to get back and forth as quickly as it possibly can. It's just, it is kind of a miracle that this was a successful operation. Culture, your thoughts on this story?
Yeah, I think that I think that child would no longer be with us had the dad not reacted pretty much immediately. Yeah, I always feared these types of things happening on a cruise ship while I was aboard. We've heard, people, getting rid of a spouse this way, but I don't want to talk too much about that. But interestingly enough, those quick actions by everybody involved should be commended. I think that the fact that the cruise line employees are so skilled is something that's quite admirable. And, bringing this cruise ship to a stop, not a simple task. Getting that boat out into the open water as quickly as they did, amazing. And this particular rescue, still, I'm impressed. I'm so glad that this happened with a positive outcome, because this could have gone very badly and been some really terrible publicity for the Disney Cruise Line, which it deserves to be attacked for where it falls short, but where it does well, we should commend and elevate these people, because they did a great job.
Yeah.
This is what you're seeing right now is the deck 4 of the Disney Magic, very similar to the Dream in many respects, so that's why it's included here. Go ahead, Marvin.
Yeah, you know what? I've taken several Disney cruises, and I've always been impressed with the crew. They really know their stuff. They are hard work. I have said that the crew on a Disney cruise ship is far more that idyllic Disney cast member that we remember from like the 90s and the early 2000s than anyone currently working in the parks. I mean, there is not one single rude person, but they're also highly trained. I mean, I watch, they do drills periodically during the cruises. So I remember there was one time on one of my cruises where I actually watched them do a safety drill like this, and I was amazed at the efficiency that I saw as they lowered the boat down, as they as they did all that stuff. They are, and of course they have to do these drills during the cruises because these ships don't have a day off. When a cruise pulls into port Monday morning, and they have hours to turn the ship around because they're leaving again at 4:00 Monday afternoon. There's never downtime for these people. The crew members also work 7 days a week, usually, especially like, and like going beyond even the safety people, like the food service people, like your waiter, at dinner at night, they're working in the buffet in the morning. They work all day, every day. It's like a 70-hour work week. Sorry, Culture, I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, and you're not even mentioning the days when they have to do like a mattress swap or any of the other stuff that goes on when the cruise is like, I mean, your porters, the people that take care of your room, those people work like a watch. And annually when they swap the mattresses, that's an amazing thing to watch, because not only are doing everything they have to do in that short turnaround period for the cruise churn, they're also pulling and putting in new mattresses in every one of the cabins and getting those mattresses off the boat. It's amazing to watch. So I have to say that you're right. I think the cruise industry boasts some of the most well-trained people, probably in any industry. And you're right. They also seem to have something that the theme parks may have lost. Not necessarily all cast members, but these cast members, these crew, they are the peak professionalism you expected from Disney 20 years ago. So that's 100% right.
Full compliments to Disney in this regard, and a job well done. Jonas, any final thoughts before closing out this incredible harrowing tale?
I won't say anything other than my own personal preferences to take my vacations on the land.
I know what you're missing. Yes. Well, look, you know what? I'm probably one of the biggest cruisers on here, other than Culture, because I know Culture was a huge cruise guy. But I was even questioning whether or not I want to do another cruise after watching Poop Cruise on Netflix last night. Holy heck. I recommend. It is a crazy, crazy story of a Carnival cruise ship that got stranded in 2013 in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the Gulf of America. So go ahead and take a look at that.
There's a in business school, whenever they want to talk about dealing with a PR disaster, there are like 3 or 4 in a row that are all about cruise ships. So.
Well, you know what's funny is Carnival says in that thing, and this actually relates to the story, that they were terrified that the second that people got off the boat and talked to the press, they were just going to be ripping Carnival to shreds. But all they talked about was how wonderful the crew was, how amazing the crew was. Because I mean, and those crew especially, I mean, they had to go well above and beyond the call of duty at that point, literally the call of duty.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that one coming. I saw that coming and I couldn't stop it. Guys. I'm sorry. Call of Duty.
Pretty sure Poop Cruise also beat Ironheart in the ratings.
It did, actually. Yeah. I think it finished right above them in the Illuminate numbers, but we won't know because guess what? Ironheart didn't show up in Illuminate.
There you go. That's
all right.
That's the lesson of today. Poop all around. And more ways than one. And Michael Steele getting $5. In 2019, 25 people went overboard and only 9 rescued, according to the New York Times. And that was the profound aspect of the story, that these rescues occur and so few of them are actually successful. The fact that this one was, absolute miracle right there. Job well done by Disney crew.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.